Hey, what's up everyone, CTNtechnologynews here, and today I'm doing a hands-on review of the new Amazon Fire HD6, which is a brand new budget tablet with a 6-inch screen that only costs $99. So this performs smoothly, offers a feature-filled operating system, and is really affordable. So in this video, I'm basically taking a look at what's special about this device, whether it's worth it for the cost, and then whether you should get it. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let me start by talking about the design. As you can probably tell, the Kindle Fire HD6 is a 6-inch screen, which is pretty small for a tablet considering that we're seeing phones this big now, but with that said, it's very comfortable even just to hold in one hand, and I think that's the perfect size to hold. Now with regards to the actual weight, it weighs 0.64 pounds, it's a little bit heavy for its size, but you know, when you take a look at how thick it is, it's definitely not the thinnest of tablets. I mean, it's definitely reasonably sized, but it's just not going to be competing with something like the iPad Air 2 or something along those lines. Now up on the top we have a headphone jack, we have the charging port, the micro USB charging port, and we have the power button. We have nothing along the right side, and we have a volume rocker over here on the left side. On the bottom there's nothing, although there is a single speaker grill, which does produce pretty good quality sound. I mean, it's nothing like, again, what you're going to be getting with a more advanced tablet like the iPad Air 2 or the iPad Mini, but it's very decent for this price range, and you're not going to mind watching videos or listening to music using this speaker. So with that said, I think the design of this tablet is pretty good for its price. Now the Fire HD6 runs Amazon's very latest operating system, which is Fire OS 4 Sangria, and it isn't that different than last year's Mojito, but it does have a few new features and it's more fluid than ever before. So even though the Fire HD6 definitely isn't the most powerful tablet in the world, it runs the operating system very smoothly, and it's really easy to toggle between different types of media like movies, music, games, books, newsstand, all that kind of stuff. You can switch from one to the other really quickly, and obviously this isn't the pure version of Android like on Google's Nexus line of devices, but you know, if you're buying into the Fire HD line, you know that you're getting Amazon's customizations on top, and quite honestly, the Fire OS is actually pretty nice. Also, you've got individual user profiles, so you can create adult users and child users with more restrictions, so you can actually have a lot of different people using one device, and I think that's a really nice thing. Also, battery life has improved with this latest operating system, which, you know, that can never hurt. One thing I was interested in when I first got the Fire HD6 is how it would actually respond to different games playing on it, and I've actually been very impressed with how it's done handling different types of 3D games and highly graphical games, as well as ones that take a lot of power. Now, just for the purposes of the review, I can't really show you a lot of the games I've tried, but I will say that the Fire HD6, again, despite its slightly slow specs of an ARM processor that's clocked at 1.21 GHz, 1 GB of RAM, and 8 or 16 GB of internal storage, it handles a lot of games very smoothly and fluidly. For instance, games like Sonic 4 Episode 2, Minecraft Pocket Edition, and a lot of other games of that class, the Fire HD6 can handle it really fine, and there's just a little bit of lag if you're really paying a lot of attention, but it's nothing that's just going to ruin the whole experience. Now, as you can see right here, simpler games like Jetpack Joyride or Sonic Dash, they run just fine. There's absolutely no lag whatsoever, and so if you're wanting to play more mobile games on here, you're going to have no problems whatsoever. I guess the lesson here is that if you're wanting to get a tablet that can handle really simple games, you don't have to spend more than $100. So I think that's where an area where the Fire HD6 really shines. I think gaming is a great application for this, and also game developing as well. This is a very cheap device to test a lot of different games on, and if it runs on here, it's going to run on a lot of other devices too. So if you're an app developer, this is a great way to go. Now the Fire HD6 does come with a pair of cameras, although you shouldn't probably expect that much from them. There's a front-facing VGA camera that really does fine for video conferencing, but the photos are pretty fuzzy, and the 2-megapixel rear camera sometimes takes good photos, but most of the time it really isn't that great. As you can see here, the cameras are very, I guess, subpar for tablets. I mean, they're not going to be competing with a lot of other different devices, but again, since this is under $100, I wasn't really expecting that much. In fact, I was actually pretty impressed with some of the pictures the back camera took, and really it was off and on with the quality. Sometimes it would take a really good picture, sometimes it just wouldn't be so good, so it just really came down to how it was actually performing on the day and in the given lighting conditions. I think the cameras are very decent, and if you're going to use this as your primary camera, it's not going to take the best quality shots, but if you're going to use this more irregularly and just take a picture with it now and then, you'll be fine with how it turns out. So anyways, the Amazon Fire HD6 is really a pretty revolutionary device, and I think it's going to really change the tablet landscape. I mean, it proves that a device that's under $100 doesn't have to be really bad. It can still have a feature-filled OS, smooth performance, and a compact construction. I mean, it is still hindered by the lack of the Google Play Store and its thick plastic build, but if you're willing to make those sacrifices, this is a great way to go. I'm really hoping that we'll see more tablets from other companies that will be competing with this in the budget range that are under $100, but still pack a really decent deal. I mean, it's on the low end of the spectrum for sure, and if you're willing to, go with the 6-inch screen and a slightly slower device, this is an amazing product to get. So anyways, let me know what you think of the Amazon Fire HD6 in the comments below. Please sure give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.